Hey, it's Kevin Wood here. Welcome back to the pasthisprime YouTube channel and welcome back to Surviving the Aftermath. Where in this video, we're going to do a quick guide on outposts and how they work. So we've already sort of looked at outposts a little bit in a couple of other guides there about the world map and about specialists, but we're going to go through them specifically in this one, just looking at the outposts, showing them, showing how to use them, all that sort of stuff. So let's get straight into it first off. Okay, so the first thing we need to do to start using some outposts in the world map is to research the frontier outposts, which is part of the safety option here. Now, where it is in your tree here will depend on the options you pick at the start and all that sort of stuff. I think it shuffles all these things around. So I have it here, and if you build that, or sorry, research that, you will get the option to do outpost depots. So that's one of the steps. We obviously need access to the world map as well. So you'll need a gate, you'll need specialists, and we'll need to be able to get out here to the world map to do stuff. So once you have researched that, what you should find in here is an option here for outpost depot. And you can see where it is there. It costs 50 wood, 45 plastic, and 30 metal. Now, you can only have one of these in your colony, and that's why it's grayed out in mine, because I already have one. And you'll see it is here. So that is what it is, and you only need one, as it states. That's what it looks like. Lovely little building there. All right, and once you have that, you can then click on here and you have some options. Well, one option really. All the rest of it is just normal building stuff, and that is called Create a Settler. Now, to create a settler, you need to have a specialist that you want or will lose, and they will never come back, right? So this is why you get money and keep trying to get as many specialists as you can if you want to do this. So if I want to create a settler, what I do is obviously I've built the outpost. I then go create a settler, and it will let me select from any specialist that is currently in the colony. You'll see all these other ones here that are grayed out. They're already out in the world map, so I cannot pick them. If I want to pick one of them, they need to come back to the colony first so that I can pick them. You can then go through here and pick and look at the stats and then make a decision based on, okay, which one do I want to afford to lose the most? Which would I prefer to keep? That sort of thing. And as it says here, settlers build outposts on the world map. They cannot fight or scavenge resources. The selected specialist will be permanently converted into a settler. So you will lose this specialist. So let's say we are going to, first off, let's go and pick you, and we're going to create a settler. Now, as soon as we do that, we will pop into the world map and we'll see this person here. It has a different look, right? They just got a generic body, backpack, that sort of thing. Now we need to decide what we want to do with this one and where we want to go. So that's where we can have lots of different options. So, for instance, if we come... Now, you can see here it already says the build outpost is grayed out and cannot build in the colony sector, right? So any sector that you see here that has a highlighted green line around it has either already got something in it, like another outpost, an engineer depot, something like that, or another civilization, society. So you cannot build an outpost in them. So that's number one. Next, so let's say get, where can we go? All right, let's go here because that's one move away. So we just move them like a specialist, no different there. Then as soon as we get into a sector that we can build in, we can obviously then build. And then comes the options of what do we want to build? And that's where we come into these options here. Research, transport, survivor, medical, scavenger. So research, as it says here, no production in this sector. So we'll come back to that one. transport. We'll do all of those in a minute. And then there's also scavenger, which you cannot do in this one. For some reason you can't do a medical outpost. No production in this sector. Interesting. Oh, no. Hang on, what? Okay, that's weird. Alright, so what we're going to do is we'll start with random one. So first off, let's do a medical outpost, okay? So the medical outposts allow specialists to heal their wounds without having to return to the colony. Now, in this regard here, you would not build it where I am right here, right? Because this is our colony. Right, so we would not build it there. We would build it far out somewhere convenient, wherever that we want that to be. But for the sake of what I'm doing, which is an example, we're going to build it here. So I'm going to build a medical outpost. Check. So that will go away and build. Now, as soon as that's built, you'll free up that slot now to be able to recruit a new specialist. Now, you can't do it every day. It will put a timer on here that you have to wait 4 days or something like that. But because I haven't hired a specialist in 4 days already, it becomes instantly available. You have now lost that settler. So first off, you lost your specialist to turn it into a settler. Now you've lost your settler, turning it into this outpost. You can see here that it says heals wounded specialists on the field 30 every 12 hours. So that would be 30 HP every 12 hours. So if we click on it, we have the option to demolish and we have the option to just go back. That's pretty much it with the medical outpost. Now, if I demolish this, you do not get the settler back. That is it. You don't get the specialist back. So you have basically spent a specialist, turn him into a settler, and then that settler turns into the outpost. If you demolish it, you lose the outpost, you lose the settler, you've lost the specialist. So it's a bit of a waste of money. But if you've got the resources and you really want to get rid of that outpost because you want to use that sector for something else, then feel free to do it. I prefer to try and avoid that because, as I said, it is a bit of a waste. Right, so how does it actually work? Well, how about we go and get one of these guys? So this specialist has been out and about and he's been doing some stuff, and you can see here he is pretty hurt. He's only got 14 out of 90 HP left. Now, normally, if you want to heal him up, you could return to the colony. And once he returns to the hot colony, he will start healing while he's wandering around the colony. Now, if he's a long way away, that could be a long walk back. So if we had a medical outpost over here, he could run here and heal up. So I am, for the sake of the video, going to run him back to our medical outpost and show you how it works. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get him to go here first.
Check.
Oh,
can't do that.
No, I'm going to get him to go there. And then we are going to speed up time and come back in a moment. Okay, so we've got Pinkman here, and he is very injured, but he's right near a medical outpost that we have built in a remote area. Just pretend this colony is not here. And if we go across here, you'll see that it states that it heals 30 every 12 hours. And to heal him up, it's going to take 1 day and 12 hours, which is obviously going to be, what's that, 60 for the day, and then another 12 hours. So that is about 75, right? Which is pretty much what he needs to get up to 90 HP. So we just move him into the outpost here. And I guess he just now stands there. Right, so if we zip over to here, just move along a little bit. So we'll let this world map dial go around. We've got it on very fast mode at the moment. Now if I click back in, we can see that it doesn't state that anything's changed. But it does have the time reduced. So maybe I would guess that the numbers don't tick over unless you've been in there at least one of these cycles, which I think is 12 hours. Either 12 hours a day. Okay, so 12 hours have ticked over, and he is now at 44 out of 90. So there's our 30 that we've done. So we could just click on cancel if we go, okay, that's enough. I can't be bothered waiting. Let's let him get out of there. You can see he's got a symbol here of heart, so he is healing up. Or we can just leave him alone and we just wait some more time. Right, so our 1 day and 12 hours has gone, and you can see here Pinkman now is just ready to go. He's standing there, nothing happening. If I click on him, we're ready to move him, and he is 100% fully healed, 90 out of 90. So there you go. So if you want to heal up your specialists out and about in the world map, then you can build these medical outposts in various places at faraway distances. And then you don't need to bring your specialists back to the colony all the time. You can keep them out there probably forever and just have them wandering around. All right, so this time here, what I've done is I've run a settler to this region here. And the reason for that is because we're going to have a look at a research outpost. So if we get to a region that has a building here with a research symbol inside a cog, that means we can build an outpost here and have it gather research. So we can click on here and you can see we have the option now. It doesn't say you can't do it like it does with this scavenger one. So as it says, research outposts gather science points from demanding locations that cannot be researched by normal specialists. And in this case here, this building here is going to give us 8 every 12 hours. Now, different buildings in different locations can give you different values. So make sure you look around because you can get different values. Like, so for instance, this one here is giving us 18 every 12 hours. This one here is giving us 16 every 12 hours. And then if I go right up to the corner here, I have this lovely one that has a couple in here of 30 and 30. They are great looking things. And I am getting 81 science every 12 hours. All right, so back to where we were.
How may I help?
So again, nothing different to everything else. What we do is we just come over here and we click on a research outpost. This settler will turn into the outpost. So we've lost our settler again. And now we can click on it. We can demolish it if we so choose, but we can also see we're getting 8 every 12 hours. So it will just sit there instantly clicking over every 12 hours, adding 8 to our research value up here in the top corner so that we can continue to research our tech tree and unlock stuff. Okay, and our next outpost here is going to be a scavenger outpost. So similar to the research outpost, what we do is we take our settler to a region here that has a building, again with a cog on it. But this time, instead of research, it's going to have an item. So in this place here, it's got guns, which I think is automatic rifles. And you can look around your map and you can see various other items here. You've got these tools, which are basic, and they are superior tools. You know, there's some more guns. There's lots of stuff around. All different types. Well, not all different types, but various types. Lots of guns by the look of it. Lots of tools. And I'll keep looking because just going to show you a few examples because there are some. For some reason, we can only see tools. All right, so there's fun boxes and there's more. I think the other one generally is clothing. Okay. Now, one thing to note with those 3 items, so fun boxes is just fun boxes, but with tools, you'll notice that I said they were superior tools. That is the only way to get superior tools. You can make basic tools and durable tools, but you can't make superior tools. You can only get them from these scavenger places on the world map, as far as I know. This one here you can see is protective clothing. Same deal. It's the only place that you can get protective clothing that I'm aware of. You might be able to get them in a trade, I can't remember, but other than that, you can't make them. You can make basic clothing, you can make sturdy clothing. You want protective clothing, you have to get it from the world map. And again, I showed that before, automatic rifles. Same deal. You can make hunting rifles, you can make shotguns, but you can't make automatic rifles as far as I know. So, it's a good idea to get some of these. So, if we go back to our person, if I can find where the heck I was, here we are. Right, so we go into a region with that item, and then we can build a Scavenger Outpost. And you can see here it says Scavenger Outpost, scavenge and send materials to the colony at a steady pace. These outposts can exploit locations that are inaccessible to normal specialists. It's showing here that if we build this, we're going to get one gun, right? So you can see, no, it's not going to show me. Hang on, get off. See, you're going to get one in 12 hours. So one every 12 hours is going to be sent to the colony. So we just build this Scavenger Outpost. Again, our settler is gone, no longer. And here is our outpost, and you can demolish again or just leave it there forever. And you can see it's going to be every 12 hours we're going to get one of these guns in our colony. And from what I know, you don't get that graphic of transporting or anything like that. They just appear in your colony. Because I have quite a few around here. As you can see, I have one here collecting fun boxes. So you can see I'm getting one fun box every 12 hours. And I'll have ones for other various things. Okay, so this is another one to note here. You'll notice that in this region here, we actually had two scavenger things. So we had this one here for rare metals, which is 6 in 12 hours. And we had this protective clothing, which is 1 in 12 hours. Now, because they're in the same region, as soon as I build a outpost, a scavenger outpost, we automatically collect both of those items. So this outpost is pretty good because it's getting 6 rare metals every 12 hours and 1 protective clothing every 12 hours. So a good outpost to do. So look out for those ones where you might find a region that has multiple. Now, when it's a region that has, for instance, like where I built before, this one here had also research in the same one. You can't collect both of those because you've either got to pick a scavenger outpost or a research outpost, right? You can't have both in there, and you can't build another outpost here. It is now taken up and done. All right, so I've got another settler here, and we're going to say, okay, this settler is a little bit away from our colony here. Now, we might go normally a bit further because, you know, the map is quite big. But for the sake of this, we're here, right? And what I'm going to do is we're going to build a transport station here, or an outpost. So a drop-off point for scavenged resources on the world map. Specialists can drop off any gathered resource into this station and they are automatically sent back to the colony. Right, so just the same as everyone else, we build it. The settler creates the outpost and disappears. All right, we go in here, we can demolish, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing else here other than what looks like a bit of storage. So the concept here is that, for instance, say this settler here, you can see that in his storage he's got 25 fun boxes and 43 parts. He's been out scavenging, doing his bit, and we want to keep him out here. But to get rid of those, but we want the parts in our colony. Now, to get them back, you need to come over here and tell him to go to the colony or do it from the drop down like here, return to colony. Now you can see if I go here, it's going to take 6 or 7 days or 5 days. Hang on, I can't tell, there's a 6 there, but then there's a 5. So it's 5 or 6 days, whatever it is, right? But we could go to this transport here and drop off in 1 day. So we right click on here. He drops it off. Okay, he's emptied his container here. He's now ready to get back out there into the world map and start scavenging again. Now, if we click on our transport, we can see that we have the parts here in the storage, and it is preparing resource transport. So now we'll go and speed up some time. So in one cycle of this, it will finish preparing. So it takes a little bit of time to get it back to the colony. It's not instant, but it frees up your specialists. So, you know, none of these slots are being used for this transport, and none of your specialists here are being used for this transport. So it's a separate entity in itself that's going to do it. Very similar looking to a trade from a society. So we'll just wait for this to go around. All right, and if we click in here, we can see now we have a little guy here with a little wagon that he's pulling, and a line appeared going to the colony. And I don't know if we can click. We can't really click, so let's get it moving along a little bit further. Get him actually out of the transport station. Right, so we've done one cycle. You can see the line is here. And... whoop. Where is he? Oh, there he is. I lost him. All right, you can see there's the transport station. The colony's down there. And here he is here. And if we just hover over, you can see it says 1 day, 7 hours travel time. Now, he's already done 12 to get to there. So it's working out to be about 2 days. And I think by memory from what we had before, it was about 5 to 6 times. But that's not necessarily days. 5 to 6, I think, resembles 12 hours. I think each one of those steps is, but I could be wrong there. So it could be fairly close to equivalent. 1 day, that's 2. So 2 days is what? That's only 4. So it's, you know, it's close to the same. It might be a little bit faster. I don't know. Or it may be exactly the same time. Who knows? With the preparation step in there, probably is the same amount of time, really. So you're not saving time, but what you are saving is you're saving your specialists from having to come back, because they can be more efficient about their time and let this thing do the work. So it's a nice idea. It's not something I generally use myself in gameplay, but it probably is something I should use. Same with the medical outposts. I don't generally use them, but I probably should, you know, because I just bring my characters, my specialists, back to the colony all the time. But it's not very efficient, really. So that might be something I'll look at in, you know, future videos, gameplays that I'll look at doing these. The thing is that they obviously cost settlers to do them, and specialists and settlers together, the same item. So that is money. That is, you know, something useful, but it does help a lot. Right, so I've moved a settler into this spot here, and what the other one I wanted to look at is called a survivor outpost. And you can see here it says survivor outpost, find survivors from sectors and send them back to the colony. Survivors are usually more numerous in urban and temperate areas and more scarce in harsh environments. You can also see here, as I'm highlighting it, it gives us an example of the ratio. So in this one here, we're getting 0.33 in 12 hours. Now, if I thought, oh, that's not really great, what you just do is don't build and continue walking around. And what you're going to be looking for is probably more along the lines of places like this, which has a lot of these sort of like buildings and various things like that. Now, obviously we can't build here because there is a society already here, and we're not going to want to go to a desert. Here I've already got a scavenger outpost, but if I destroyed that, I could build a survival one in there, and that sort of thing. So that's what you're probably looking for. Like if you were to go over here, you would get a better number. So what we could do, just for example showing, so what we do is we just go build, we go survivor outpost, Like all the other ones, the settler builds the outpost and then is gone, no longer to exist. And as this says here, it's going to find 0.33 in every 12 hours of survivors, and it shows you a little symbol of sort of adult, elderly, and children. So you can demolish, and then there's this button here that says take survivors. So to show you one that's already built, here's one I prepared earlier, is one that I'm using in my colony. And you can see here, see this one here is 0.7 in 12 hours. So it's a fairly high number, and you can see because there's lots of sort of buildings around. It's just assumed that this area here, as it says, the biome is urban. That was one of the ones it suggested. Right, so you can see here that we actually have 10 survivors in this outpost now. We can just leave them, ignore them, don't worry about it. You don't have to take them. If your colony's full, you don't need them, just leave them there. Just ignore them. They will just stay there. No big deal. But they're handy to have in the case of you've had some deaths in your colony, you just need more in your colony because you need to, you've got more jobs that you need filled, that sort of stuff. You want to expand, grow. It's a good way to get a constant stream of these in, because the only other way to do it is by getting them randomly appear at the gate, which is obviously unplanned. It's very inconsistent. Sometimes it could be never you'll get them. Sometimes you'll get them regularly. It just depends. But with here, you've obviously got a regular number. We've got 0.7 every 12 hours. So I could click here and go take survivors, and what we're going to get is this number here, and it's going to change. Like if you built multiple of these, you could check them and pick which one you felt was best, because you might say, well, I want the one with the most adults because they're the best workers, right? They do everything. The one with children don't work, and elderly, yes, they do some work, but they are limited to what they can do, and they are going to die soon, right? But you can see here I've got 7 adults, 2 elderly, and 1 child. Now you can't specify how many you want to take or anything like that. It is just a matter of take. You don't have to wait until there's 10 in there. You can come back here every day or whatever, and you can just see that there's 1 person in there and click take, and that 1 person will come. So if you just need a little top up, you had a couple people die and you just need a couple, you can come back every couple of days and just go, yeah, give them to me. So if I click take survivors, we'll get this confirmation, right? Ready to invite survivors from the outpost in the colony. They will join the colony as colonists upon arrival. Click confirm. You'll see now, yeah, we got a little bunch walking here, and there's a yellow line. Okay, so if we just speed this along a little bit, we'll just get them moving out of that area. All right, so if we go back to the world map, you can see they're here now. They're out of the outpost there, wandering along. You can hover over it, gives you some stats there, tells you there's 10 colonists, and it's going to take them 1 day, 21 hours to reach the colony. So we can come back to our colony and just speed things along again. Alright, so after the time has been reached, you'll see that you'll get a pop-up here. Survivors from an outpost arrive. 10 survivors join the colony. There they are there. They're all whinging they haven't got jackets, which hopefully we've got plenty of jackets. They'll go and get a nice cozy jacket. And they basically just join the colony. They'll find a home. Hopefully you've got a home. If you haven't, they're going to suddenly come up and say you've got 10 people homeless. And they will just join society. They'll grab a job if there's a job available, and off they go. And that's pretty much all you do with that. And then you're free to just, go back to the outpost again here. And you can see now I've got another 2 adults here. So I could just say, all right, well, yeah, I really want these adults. So I'm going to send them off now. So these 2 adults are now going to go. As I said, you don't need to wait for all 10. And they'll take their 2 days or whatever it is to get here. Now, obviously, that time is based on wherever you've built that survivor outpost. I just built it out here because it's the best area I could find in the closest vicinity to where I am. I mean, you know, we could build another one here. That could be very handy to do. But again, that's going to be still a fair walk away from our colony. Right, so that's all the standard outposts. So the only other outpost that is there is, and it's the last one, is the engineer outpost. And that is specific to the project tomorrow. So to do an engineer one, first thing you need to be doing is the project tomorrow. And at some point in time during that story, it is going to tell you to build engineer outposts. And as soon as it does that, it is going to give you the option to build. Okay, it's not a research item or anything like that. It's just part of the story. Now, this is the main story for the game at the time of recording this. Okay, things may change further down the track, but it is the whole end game, the thing that you are supposed to do as part of, you know, basically the end game for this, right? In theory. I mean, you can continue on after it, but it's just the end game story. So once you have got to that point, you come in here to build, and you'll see in here now we have engineered depot. And as opposed to the outpost depot, this one can be built multiple times. It's not a single entity. So if we want to build it, we just click on it and we can build it anywhere. It doesn't matter where you build it because it is going to disappear. Because it is a single use, right? We build it, and when you go and use it, it's gone because it is just basically a car in theory with some supplies. All right, so let's see if we can speed along, get that built. All right, so you can see it's been built, and here we go. They're building, building, building. And there we go. So as you can see, it is a car with a little, you know, charger, whatever, table and some supplies. Now, when we click on it, we have create engineer. Now you can see here, it's exactly the same look and everything else as the outpost one, but I don't have any specialists here. All right, so I'm just going to buy specialists because it's going to be quicker. Right, so now we have a new specialist. So we can go create engineer, and we can see he is here. And exactly the same as the normal outpost depot. Once you do this, there is no going back. This specialist is gone. So you can see here it says build advanced engineer outposts on the world map that help to complete the Doomsday Bunker. Engineers cannot fight or scavenge resources. The selected specialist will be permanently converted into an engineer. Right, so if we click that and we click confirm, we jump straight to the world map. But now you'll see we are a car. And what we get options with now is you can see these symbols here. So the whole point of the outposts in the end game, the project tomorrow, the Doomsday Bunker, is these options up here. We have life support, medicine, defense, and ecosystem. We need to get these to 100%. All of them, all four of them. So what we need is to get engineer outposts in each of these. And you can have one, you can have multiple. You know, it says there I've got 2 in that one. 1, 1, 1. I'm only doing 1 because I'm just playing that slowly, but the more you put in, the faster it'll be, because you can see that is only collecting 0.67% every 24 hours. So it's going to be a slow grind to get up to 100%. But that's the way I'm playing the game. I'm playing it as a slow grind. If I wanted to go faster and express this project tomorrow, then I would obviously build more. So what you're looking for is these symbols now, right? So, and again, you cannot build in regions that already have other outposts or civilizations, societies, etc. So that is one key. If you have flooded your entire map with standard outpost depots, you're going to have a hard time doing the engineer outposts. So it's key to save a few here. So you can see the symbol here. We have a +1 here, which you can see is medicine. There's that one there, which is ecosystem. Then there's all the other various symbols. They're all out here, and you have ones that are multiple. If you take into one of these multiples, then when you go to build, you get to choose which type. Okay, if you go into a single one here, you will just get to pick that one. And you'll find there's ones here that don't have any symbols whatsoever. So if we say, let's do one with a multiple so I can show you how that looks. So I'm going to click here. We're going to drive. So we're a car this time, so it's a bit faster to do the engineer outposts. But if you go back, you can see that was where we had the engineered depot. It's gone, right? It is gone. So if we want to do another one, we have to build another engineered depot. So we have to build this every time we want to create an engineer. So not only is it going to cost us a specialist to be an engineer, it's also going to cost us the resources to build these, which is not a big deal. So let's speed on. We'll wait for our engineer guy to get over there. Actually, I do have a couple already out there, but we'll show a few just for the sake of it. All right, let's get back over here. Okay, so we have our engineer here. Actually, let's go and look at one of these here. Okay, so you can see here, I've got an engineer over here. One thing to note is sometimes what you'll get in the story, as I've got here, it says build 2 engineered outposts in desert biome. So when you want to look at that, if you have a look on the section over here, you can see the biome details. And it says desert, right? So if you go into another biome here, you'll see that now says marshland. That's marshland, right? So there's all different types. There's plains, okay? So that's, if you get a specific location to go to, that's what you want to do here. So this one here, you can see I've got him in this resource, which is actually life support. So if I go, so it says it's a suitable location, and if I go build outpost, we get an option now, right? But obviously, if I go to any of these other ones, we've got the 4 types. It just says can't build here, can't build here, can't build here. This one, yes, you can build. We click on it, we get this lovely little outpost thing here with a dome and a radar dish and all that sort of stuff. So it looks good. Okay. That is now collecting 0.69% every 24 hours. And I believe you can get different values from what I've seen. But, you know, that's that one. Now, I have another one over here. And it's in the same one. So we could build another one again, but let's skip that one. So let's go over here. So this is one of these ones with multiple locations. So if I go build, we can come along here and you can see I've got that one available. That's not available. That is available. And that's not available, right? So this one here would give us 0.7% every 24 hours of medicine. And this one here would give us 0.67% every 24 hours of the ecosystem. So you get a choice, but you can't have both. You choose one or the other, and then obviously the other one is wasted. So whichever one you want. So let's go with the medicine one this time. And we'll build that. Bang. So now we got 0.7% every 24 hours. It says it's 99% efficiency, so that must be one of the higher values. And if I go across here now, you can see that it says there's 2 outposts and we're gathering 1.37% every 24 hours because we've got 2 in there. This one here's got 1.7. So you can see what I mean by if you want to go faster in this end game here, you can by building multiple outposts. Now, with the engineer outposts and the standard outposts, there is no limit to how many you can make. It is all about how many specialists you want to use, how much money you want to spend, and how much time. You can put them in every single one of these sectors that has a cog symbol in it, or from an engineer point of view, any one of these that has one of those other symbols. which I can show you there, anyone that has one of these symbols, you can put as many of these out there. Your only restriction, other than money, time, all that sort of stuff, is that you can only have one outpost of any type in any region. And if there is a society or your colony, you cannot put one in there as well. So that is your limitation, and you obviously have needed to scout all the areas as well to unlock them. But you can, in theory, build an outpost of some type pretty much in every single one of these sectors. All right, so that is all of the outposts that I know of at the stage of this recording. There could be more to come in the future, who knows? Lots of new stuff will be coming in DLCs and whatever other form. So that is how things work right now. And, you know, if there are updates or changes to this stuff, I will come back and do a new video refreshing this sort of stuff. But, you know, do let me know if anything's incorrect or I haven't explained properly. If you do like the channel and you want to support it further, check the description below. There's a link to a Patreon site and a link to a virtual coffee site. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out immensely, and I really do appreciate the support. Most importantly, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the game, of this guide, and if you do have any questions, further questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. If there's anything I missed about Outposts or didn't explain properly or you didn't understand, please do put it in there. If I got anything wrong, also do that as well. Let me know, because I'm happy to be corrected and learn even more and get things right. So please feel free to put in the comments. If there's any other guides that you would like to see for this game that I haven't already created, or anything like that, or anything else you don't understand, please feel free to let me know in the comments, because I'm always looking for new ideas for videos and that sort of stuff. I read all the comments and answer every comment that warrants an answer as soon as I possibly can. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.